This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Welcome to our show, Heartbeat.
Ay, marami pong salamat.
Marami rin yung lalaki, kung ayaw rin ng divorce.
Change, meaning introduction of new policies.
At natutuwa ako na
Dito
And all that, or just katito.
buwan ng linggo ng kanyang panunungkulan. And
It went from 5 peso and 30 centavos.
Magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat. Welcome to our show, Heartbeat Live. I'm your host, Ray Orosa. Magkakapiling tayo dito sa susunod na oras. Pag-uusapan natin ang mahalagang bagay, lalo-lalo na po sa what I call the premier city of Metro Manila. Alam po, naging binihita na natin dito si Mayor Herbert Bautista. At basta ako, I have graduated from calling him Bistek. He should now be called Mayor Herbert Bautista. I think he deserves it. Hindi na siya komedyano sa pinakanta taming. He is a serious politician and now he has to confront a lot of serious issues with respect to Quezon City. Kanya inanyayahan ko siya dito kako kay Herbert, Mayor Herbert, pwede ba mag-usap tayo dito sa programa ko? At kailangan din namang makita ng mga tao kasi ang problema niya hindi lang naman sa kanya eh. Maraming problemang hinaharap niya. Katulad lang ng problema namang hinaharap din ng napakadaming syudad at lungsod. Correct. Hindi lang dito sa Metro Manila, kung hindi maski na sa probinsya din. Kanya lang hinaharap. Ano yan? Ang basura, ang mga taxation, ay naku, pagpaparepair ng mga karsada, napakadami, ang peace and order, etc. Which of course is in Quezon City is a very important issue.
Yep.
So welcome Mayor Herbert Bautista.
Thank you
for
po, Tito
being
Ray.
here.
Thank you very much for the invitation. Maraming salamat po ulit. Happy Valentine!
Ay, happy Valentine's. Ayan, nakita nyo ha, pula na ang aking kurbata at ang sinusuot kong kamisi dentro, stripe na red and white.
Okay.
Sapagat kayo ang aking Valentine.
Iyo.
All right. Mayor Herbert, you are a mayor of one of the, if not the most prosperous city in the Philippines.
Yes, and we're very thankful to our predecessors for doing that.
Yeah, they built the base, but
Yeah.
you have built on top of the base.
We're trying our best, sir.
Okay.
We're trying our best.
For example, just to give you an idea kung gaano pwede ko ba sabihin, kayaman ng Quezon City. Ang total revenue ng Quezon City ngayon on the last year, Mayor Herbert, is magkano?
Nasa mga 13.1 po, including ang internal revenue allotment.
Billion.
Billion po.
Yun. 13.1 billion, isang lungsod, although Quezon City is 1/4 the size of Metro Manila.
Opo. And
Diba?
the population is about 3 million already.
3 million. Alam mo, a couple of years ago, 2 million at over lang yan. Ngayon, nadagdagan. Where do you get that? And people are migrating to Quezon City?
In 1980, sir, I did a study when I was taking up my master's in UP. I did a study. Ang population, talagang ang urbanization kasi malaking bagay. Pumapasok sila, last task ng migration. In the 80s, nasa mga 900,000. Pumasok si Mayor Simon in 1986, it's about 1 million. In 1990, nasa mga 1.4, ganun. In 2000, umabot ng 2. Tapos ngayon, after a decade,
Magkano? Ilan na?
almost 3 million na ngayon.
Alright. Ang tanong ko sa iyo, saan ang gagaling ang mga tao yan? Is that an increase in the informal settlers?
Hindi po, actually, nagbawas na tayo doon.
Nakapagbawas ka na.
In the time of Mayor Matha, it used to be 60-40. 60 ang ang informal settler families. 40% ang middle class. No?
Ngayon?
Ngayon, marami ho, kasi yung potential yung lupa kasi, sabi nyo kanina,
Malaki.
no? So yung mga developers, yung mga may-ari ng bahay, nagtatayo na sila, nababawasan ho ngayon.
Saka
yung
nag-high rise pang katakot.
tumataas pa yung iba. So, yun yung klase ng population na growth.
Alright. Anong distribution ngayon as of today?
Lamang pa rin ho ang babae sa lalaki, pero siguro mga 2%. Tapos, ang predominantly from 18 to about, siguro mga 45. Ganun ang kapal nung ano.
What about the question of the informal settlers and the regular?
Ngayon po, ano na siya, ano na tayo ngayon? Nasa mga 70-30 na. 70 na middle class,
Okay.
tapos 30% na lang po
Alright.
IS.
Which means, how many households pa rin yan?
Una, titignan natin dun sa dami nung structures nila. No? Ang computation dun is about, sabi nila, sa isang structure, dapat isang family lang. Pero iba dyan, nagtatatlo, nag-aapat.
Oo.
Yun yung nangyari namin sa amin sa Agham, no? Nung nagkaroon ng batuhan about 2 or 3 weeks ago. May listahan ho kami ng mga beneficiaries doon.
Oo.
Nung ililipat na ho sila, yung mga naiwan, yung mga hindi naging qualified dahil nakapasok sila sa isang maliit na structure. Nagulat nga sila, sabi sa amin ng NHA, nagulat kami, sa isang bahay, 27 pamilya nasa loob. So it's really quite impossible that that thing happens. Ano? So anyway, it used to be 236,000 informal settler families at an average about 5 per family. So ilang bali yun? Isang million. No?
Isang million.
Isang million. Pero ngayon, it's now 190.
Ay,
190,000.
Anong
informal
rate
settler.
of decrease na inihintay mo dito?
Sir, I'm targeting na yung 190 maging 150, 140 by the end of 2016.
By the end of 2016. Are you not running out of relocation sites?
Well, nagkakaroon ho ng problema dahil yung halimbawa, yung Rodriguez Rizal called for a moratorium dahil pag naglilipat ho tayo, it's dapat hindi lang
Hindi lang physical relocation.
Oo, dapat ang national government or even yung naglilipat nagko-contribute ng health center, ng
Hindi
eskwelahan.
ba dapat trabaho ng DSWD yan?
DSWD, DepEd, collective po collective po. So,
Do you get any cooperation from the national government?
the national government is supportive as far as NHA is concerned.
Okay, but does it go beyond talk, talk, talk?
Hindi naman, okay naman po sila. Ang problema ho talaga yung eskwelahan, yung kulang talaga sila ng facility.
But what is it that they tell me now that there is no shortage of schools now in the Philippines?
Hinahabol ho nila. Ang target nila, 0 backlog by 2016. No?
Well, they're already announcing that there is no backlog.
Hindi ko po nabasa. Hindi ko po nabasa
Nadidinig
yan.
ko sa radyo eh.
Opo. Hindi ko po nabasa
Wala
po
nang
yan.
backlog. Okay.
Sa amin po, may
Napakadaming
backlog
pera,
pa.
binigay ng ganito at binigay ng ganun para magtayo niyan.
Sa Quezon City, meron pa hong kaming kakulangan. Dahil nga, we have to buy properties or land for the national government to build schools.
Okay, basically, ang tinitingnan ko dito, bakit responsibility ninyong bumili ng lupa if it's a national government responsibility to provide the education, not the city?
Oo nga po. Kung health po ang pag-uusapan, it has been devolved to the local governments. Pero education, hindi ho.
Including funding?
Well, sa funding, pagka health services, hindi rin kasama funding.
Yun ang punto ko. How can you have devolution when they don't give you the means
Opo, hindi
to
ho kasama
handle
ang funding.
whatever has been devolved to you? That sounds a little silly to me.
Ang sinasabi yung nila, yung contribution ng internal revenue allotment. Pero
Sa
it's not
IRA.
enough eh. It's not
Kulang.
enough. It's not really enough.
Binibigay ba ngayon sa inyo do yung IRA immediately?
Automatic din ho yun. Automatic din ng
Yeah,
kaldas.
because the decision of the Supreme Court says the national government has no right to withhold.
Yes.
And they must give immediately.
Opo.
Hindi
That's true.
pwedeng gamitin pamulitika.
Hindi pwede
Yung IRA,
hindi ka akin, hindi ko bibigay sa'yo. Hindi ganun.
binabago na yan. What about yung backlog na hindi pa nabibigay in the past?
Yun yung kinaso ni dating governor and former...
Dodo Mandanas.
Sabi niya, okay na raw ho yun. Kailangan niya lang i-operationalize. I got to talk to him siguro about...
What do you mean by operationalize?
Kasi nung sinabi ng Supreme Court, sige, dapat ibigay na ng national government yan. Ano? He told me na basta sumulat ka lang sa akin kung ano yung need mo sa local mo, and then siya nang bahala magtrabaho. Sabi ko, hindi ko...
Parang...
There should be a guideline or something,
Oo,
hindi mo ba?
oo. Sige, parang magiging masyadong personal ang dating.
Yun na nga po. That's why I need a guideline so that,
Oo.
siyempre, for COA purposes, for accountability purposes, ayoko naman pumasok agad.
Pero hindi naman yun ang punto. In other words, it should not need personal intervention. It
Exactly,
should be
automatic. Automatic, opo. Yun nga po, until now, we're waiting for the guidelines.
Ayaw nila ibigay.
Perhaps siguro,
Ang tagal-tagal na kasi yun eh.
oo nga po In fact, marami nakapending doon na pwedeng maging source ng revenue ng city. Like, another Supreme Court decision that says yung mga telecoms should pay. Should pay the local government. I don't know, si former treasurer and former city administrator, Dr. Endriga, was the one who pushed for it. Nanalo na yon, meron na yung IRR sa Department of Finance, pero hindi pa nila nilalabas. So ito yung mga bagay na there should not have been an increase in any fee or taxes or what
Ah.
have you, kung talagang naibigay ka agad yun ng todo.
Okay. Ano ba ang tinitingin mong share ng Quezon City dyan na dapat maibigay na? Ilang bilyon?
Sa IRA naman, automatic sila. Last
Hindi,
year,
hindi yung current.
Apo.
But I mean, mga naipon sa nakaraan.
I have not computed kasi I got talk to former Governor Congressman Mandanas siguro after the SOCA, after the SONA eh.
Oo.
So, hindi na kami nagkabalikan after that eh. But I think it's big kasi internal revenue allotment yun eh.
Pagkaalam ko, bilyon-bilyon yan eh.
I think so too. I just
Kanya
don't
lang
know how
siguro
much.
ayaw bigay. So hindi naman ako nang hindi nagbayad yung dating administrasyon. You know, that's the silliest argument that you can ever raise.
Institutional kasi yan eh.
Eh, yeah,
diba?
that's right. It's institutional.
Correct.
And if the Supreme Court has already said pay,
Dapat magbayad.
dapat mag-file ka ngayon ng kaso
Ba't di
in
pa kayo
order to
nagbabayad?
compel the city government to pay.
Pwede ho, I'll try to talk as the league. Ako po,
Not the city government, but the national
Opo,
government.
ako po yung ngayon na italaga naging ako ngayon yung pinaka-representative ng lahat ng city mayors or cities sa buong Pilipinas, sa ULAP, sa Union of Local Authorities of the Philippines. Siguro I'll elevate that concern as well. Hindi lang ho yun, pati yung VAT.
Oh, pati yung VAT. Oh.
Wala pa ho tayong nakukuha doon from the VAT. Sinasabi
Really?
nila, hindi naka-incorporate na yan sa Internal Revenue Allotment. Hindi ho, iba yung IRA sa VAT. Magkaiba yun.
Oo. At saka hindi pa pinagsasama yung process.
Hindi nga ho eh.
Eh, alam mo kung minsan, sometimes I guess the national government can be very cute. Alam mo kung bakit? Kung bibigay sa yung pera, di ikaw hindi sa ikaw yung makikinabang, pero yung mga tao sasabihin, galing ni Mayor Herbert. Ang gusto nila sila magbida. Yun ang problema dito sa ating pamahalaan. Hindi pwede kung di isa lang ang bida. Which is a sad part. From 0907-557-2949. Good evening, sir, and to Mayor Herbert. Happy Valentine's Day. Okay, po, humahanga ako sa galing ni Mayor. Hindi lang siya magaling na aktor, magaling din na leader. God bless you, Mayor. From Rodel Dorado ng Quezon, Palawan. O, ayan, mas kang Palawan pala, meron ka ng fan. Oh.
Maraming salamat po, Mang Rodel. Maraming salamat po.
Okay, so let's go back to some of these issues.
Apo.
What about the issue of where you will dump the garbage that you collect? How many tons of garbage do you collect today?
About 2,400 metric tons of
Saan
garbage
yung
per
dinadala
day.
yan?
Yun po yung problema na isa. No? It's good that we have our own, yung the first and only, I think, sanitary
Parang landfill.
landfill. No?
Oo.
Sanitary landfill. Yung Payatas. Yung nag-trash slide nung araw, ngayon talagang contained and managed na siya well. No?
Oo. Maganda na ba doon at talagang nakokontrol na
Opo,
ang
maganda.
decomposition?
Kala mo parang nasa...
Hindi na mabaho.
Hindi na po. Kala mo nasa Aztec ka. Yung gano'n na yung itsura. No? Yung parang mga temples, yung mga pyramids ng Mexico.
Oo.
So, ang worry ho namin doon is that,
Kukulangin.
syempre may shelf life, may buhay lang yun eh.
Oo.
That's why ako personally, I'm pushing for I don't know, I think this is gonna be controversial, but it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be more environmentally sound no, to implement. No? I'm pushing for a waste to energy facility.
How to convert?
Yeah.
Kasi hindi mo
pushing
na
for
pwedeng
that.
sunugin.
Ako.
Kung hindi mo pwedeng sunugin, anong pwede mong gawin kundi ibaon sa lupa?
That's methane lang.
Oh, methane gas lang ang lalabas.
Pero
doon.
doon sa study ho namin, kasi may methane sa Quezon City ngayon.
You can, if it depends on the volume. You know, Rodriguez did that in Rizal. They put up this methane plant, but they could not get enough methane.
Yun nga po. Kasi
Yun
nga,
ang problema.
depende sa volume nga ho. No? So, meron kaming flaring ngayon. Nasa flaring stage pa lang ang Quezon City government. But I signed a document with Meralco. They're buying now some of our electricity
Okay.
because of the feed-in tariff. Dahil naprobahan na rin naman yung feed-in tariff ng about
So how
siguro less than
many KVA do you think you can sell?
konting-konti pa lang eh. Konting-konti pa lang. Kasi,
Kailan ba magiging full-blown yan?
well, siguro,
Mahirap pa nga ako, no?
matagal eh. Matagal ho kasi dahil kung titignan niyo yung facility, nagdagdag pa lang ng parang malalaking generator, mga 3 pa lang eh. Hindi ganun, hindi ko pa alam kung gaano katagal eh.
May iba ko usapan. Oh, ano ba ang komentaryo mo dito sa sinabi ng mayor ng Maynila, mind your own business about the truck ban? Ha? It's fine. It's like a crazy statement to me. Bakit? Alam mo, ang isang syudad sa Metro Manila hindi nabubuhay ng sarili eh. Hindi mo na nga makita halos ang boundaries niyan, dikit-dikit, no? So, you cannot behave as though ikaw lang ang nabubuhay sa buong mundo. Ha? And itong track ba na ito, how will it affect you and why were you objecting to it? One, is it because of lack of coordination?
Well, kami po, when I was interviewed in the summit yesterday, in the traffic summit yesterday that the MMDA initiated, I said that, una, ang traffic parang hangin o parang daloy ng tubig na hindi mo napipigilan. No? Kasi it has to be a continuous flow of goods and services.
Oo.
So, dapat itrato natin siya ng wag lang doon sa i-contain mo sa isa-isang baso. Kailangan tignan mo siya sa perspective ng
Kabuuan nung
Kalakahang Maynila.
nakalakhan ng Maynila.
Opo. So,
Well,
so yun po yung aking sinabi.
yun ang punto mo.
Opo.
Ano bang masama dun sa sinabi mo?
Ang sabi ko kasi, kapag kami mga ganyang policies, dapat wag natin tingnan from a parochial perspective. Kailangan tingnan natin doon sa mas malawak na.
Alam mo yung parokya lang ibig sabihin nun, makasarili.
Hindi
na
naman ganun.
perspective.
Oh, yung
Yeah,
sa
iniisip
loob
mo lang yung
Loob
sarili
lang.
mo.
Yeah, loob yan.
So, it's a nice way of saying it, but alam mo naman tayo dito, diretso tayo dito. Pag sinabing parokya, ibig sabihin nun, makasariling pananaw.
Parang ganun na.
Parang gano'n, di ba? Alright, but okay, ano magiging resolution nito ngayon?
Kahapon, doon sa traffic summit, and I think today was the presentation of the output of the workshops. This is Valentine. Today, I went here from Quezon City. I came from Payatas for a senior citizen Valentine activity. Going here, it took me about an hour and 30 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Maswerte pa ako dahil nakaalam ko yung mga butas-butas. Ano? Pero that is without the 18 or 15 to 18 major infrastructure projects of the national government in Metro Manila. So yesterday and today, hinarmonize lang po yung mga traffic management plans ng lahat ng mga projects na to. And to look for alternative roads, not just one, but several in a particular cluster so that hindi naman mabunsol yung flow ng traffic. No? Hopefully, yun po yung hopefully we will present that in the Metropolitan Manila Council where all the mayors are members of. And we hope to solicit the support of the majority and lahat sana mas maganda including Manila.
Can Manila then say, ayoko eh.
Well, they can say in the principle of local autonomy, but it's a collective body. If the body says majority wins yan eh. Pag sinabi ng majority, wala na siyang magagawa. I hope that is the perspective.
You hope that's the perspective, but you're not sure. Okay. Alright, may iba ko naman usapan. Meron namang iba sa'yo, nagagalit sa'yo, sinara mo yung Manila Seedling Bank.
Oo nga po.
Ano nga ba issue dyan?
Si Tito Ray, ano yan eh?
Kasi dyan din ako namimili ng mga halaman eh.
Ako rin po, siya yung sister ko. It stemmed from a Supreme Court decision in 2007 or 2006. No? At sinabi ng Supreme Court na, oy, magbayad ka. Pero
To
sinabi
whom was
niya,
it addressed? To NHA?
sa Quezon City po, Quezon City.
Magbayad ka ng ano?
Sinabi ng Supreme Court, Manila Seedling Bank, magbayad ka sa... Kasi ang gamit ng lupa, NHA, di ba ba, ang may-ari, kung paano mo ginagamit yung lupa, yung gumagamit na siya magbabayad ng tax. Ganun po yung principle ng taxation na in-implement dun sa kanya. So, hindi ho siya nakapagbayad, therefore, in-auction siya ng city. Ang sinabi naman ng Supreme, dinimanda niya si city in 2004 yata. Lumabas yung resulta in 2009. Sinabi ng Supreme Court, dapat magbayad ka. So, nung natapos na yung term ni Sir, in-implement ko lang yung utos ng Supreme Court. Nagkasuhan ulit, tapos parang in-uphold naman yung decision ng city. Pinatagal ko pa ng konti kasi nagkaroon ng mga dialogue with the city administrator then, Dr. Intriga. Tapos nagkadimandahan pa rin. But, the city government has to talagang set its
Ano
foot
ba ang
already.
nature ng usufruct na binigay sa Manila Seedling Bank? In other words, they were given by presidential decree.
For 50 years, yeah.
no?
50 years, yeah.
Did it specifically exempt them from any taxation?
Yes, but there's this recent ruling that GOCCs or even foundations are no longer, even Heart Center in fact, except for NHA, are no longer non-taxable. They should be taxable already.
Okay, so but the land is owned by NHA. So if
Opo.
NHA is not taxable, why are the users of the land taxable when the government gave the use of frack to somebody
Wala pong
else?
pinagkaiba yun dun sa State University ng UP.
Oo.
Ang State University ng UP is hindi siya taxable. Pero yung mga yung mga yung mga Techno Hub, yung ngayon UP Town Center that generates so much traffic, nagbabayad sila ng tax. So it's the as use, so how do you use the property, yung user ang magbabayad ng tax. Ganun
Okay.
po yung naging imposition nila doon.
Okay, were,
And
they,
these are all
were these people unwilling to pay some kind of tax? What was it, a real estate tax or a business tax?
it's a real property tax, the improvement of the
Wala namang improvement doon na maaasahan.
Yun na nga po eh. So
Anong babayaran nila? Di ang liit-liit.
pero kung titignan nyo po, if you go there, meron silang
Concept type construction.
tsaka hindi lang yung mga billboards.
Hmm.
Nagbabayad sa kanila yung buwan-buwan.
Pero hindi ba nagbabayad naman sa SEO for their billboards? Because you cannot put up a billboard without
Hindi
your
ho, kasi ganun din ho yung principle niya na hindi ako magbabayad kasi nasa loob yan naman nila
Okay,
sitting bank
okay.
property. So ganun po yung imposition namin. And of course, it was
Dumating
really
na sa puntong wala nang magagawa kung hindi.
it was really painful because mga kaibigan ko rin, si Senator Bongbong tumawag sa akin, si Vice President Binay tumawag sa akin dahil doon na rumimili si Doktora Binay.
Oo,
And
alam
many
ko.
others. I mean,
Maraming kikwento sa akin na namimili ng halaman si
opo,
Dr.
tapos
Binay doon.
yung mga projects na ginagawa namin sa loob the circle, yung mga societies, Orchid Society, Horticulture, mga
Could you
kaibigan
not
ko rin
find a
yun.
place where they could transfer?
The Vice Mayor was tasked to look for a location for them.
Meron mo siya nakita.
There are some...
Meron daw sa Quezon City, meron. Kanya lang ang liit-liit.
Meron na
Hindi
hulong
kakasya.
nakalipat na ron. May nakalipat na ho ron.
Oo.
Meron pa isang location that I think, it was not mentioned to me, but there's another location that I think pwede sila i-accommodate.
Okay, from 0905-304-4711, from Jong Ordoña, Puerto Princesa City. Vice Mayor pa lang si Mayor Herbert Bautista noon, may vision na yan para baguhin ang Quezon City. Totoo ba yan? I can dream, can't I?
Estudyante
Ganun ba
po. Estudyante. Gumagawa ng mga term paper about Quezon City. That could be a vision also. Siguro.
Okay, from 0915-599-7076. Jay Quito ng Port Barton, Palawan. Happy Valentine's. Magandang gabi, Mayor Herbert.
Good evening. Good
Wow,
evening po.
we're getting it from all over the country and they know you.
Good evening.
0905-646-2286. Armando Masahod ng Municipality of Palimbang. Good day, Mayor. Balita ko na po namin, kandidato kang senador 2016. I was about to ask you that question. But you have one more term.
I still have one more term, sir.
No? So, in 2016, you can run for re-election still.
Yes, sir. That's the last time that I'll be
Unless
there.
there is such a shortage of senatorial candidates, good ones, that they're going to persuade you to run for the Senate. How do you feel about that?
Well, I believe that there's still more to do in Quezon City.
Hindi maubusan.
Nakabitin ako dun sa major plans ko eh. Meron akong ilo-launch this term na hopefully will take effect in the last term. May mga ganun akong programming eh.
Oo.
Okay lang naman, basta masimulan ko siya ngayon, itutuloy naman yan ng institutional naman ang pagtingin namin sa gobyerno.
Oo.
Kaya lang,
It
syempre
depends
it's
on who
also...
replaces you.
Yun nga po. But you know, masarap pa rin na ikaw rin yung nagsimula, ikaw rin yung nag-on ng switch.
Okay.
As sibat ka na. Parang masarap din yung ganung feeling.
Oo. May sense of accomplishment.
Opo, parang
Okay.
ganun.
But alright, kasi sa akin, ang akin mas malaking problema eh. I think the utter uselessness of the Senate has been proven time and with all of this nonsense. And for that matter, even the House.
Yeah, I read when I was taking my master's in the National Defense College, I read a book that the reason, isa sa mga rason, and I don't know, because we're talking about the parliament, no?
Oo.
Like Germany had several transitions of parliaments from various different republics, no? They've gone through several eh. And ang reason doon is that no one parliament can copy para makopya mo sa Pilipinas o makopya mo
Kasi may ibang kondisyon.
ibang kondisyon, ibang kultura, ibang situation.
But, do you realize, Mayor Herbert, that the agreement with the MILF calls for the Bangsamoro to be a parliamentary form of government?
I have not seen that document
I've
yet.
seen it because I've read it, no?
I've seen-
But I'm just
I've seen it.
telling you,
Opo.
you don't even vote for a candidate personally, you vote for parties.
Opo. Para
Okay.
sa UK, para sa UK.
Ngayon, kung yun papayagan ngayon, which is a form of government that is not allowed even in the Constitution,
Yan, bawal talaga yan.
in the Constitution, pwede ka lang maging LGU eh.
Correct.
Hindi ka pwedeng maging separate parliament.
Correct.
Okay? if that will be allowed with the Bangsamoro, what's going to stop a number of provinces and cities from banding together and say, we want the same thing?
We can do that in Metro Manila or
Exactly
the
my
province
point.
of Cebu can do the same.
Okay, maybe it's time for us to really consider a parliamentary federal form of government.
I am for it.
Well, I've been singing that song for some time, but
I am for it.
I think maybe the time is now right. 0923-300-1105, Mr. Brian of Quezon City. Good PM, Mayor Bistek. Isa ako sa mga businessman sa Quezon City. Napakasakit lang sa bulsa ng binabayad namin sa business permit. Baka maaari yung pababaan ulit ang payment namin kasi parang nag-iipon ka na ng pondo para sa pagtakbo mo bilang senador kaya tinatasan mo bayarin ng mga negosyante sa Quezon City. Salamat po.
Maraming salamat po. Maganda ho yung request nyo. Ang konsepto naman ho namin sa pinabuksan ko yung Quezon City Revenue Code kasi ito ay naaprubahan noong 2006 yata. So it's been almost a decade. No? And dun sa evolution ng 2006, 7, 8, 9 hanggang ngayon, 2014, may mga bagay, kasi may mga categories po yan, Tito Ray.
Yeah.
So, itong negosyo na ito, nandito sa category A, noong 2006. Pero dahil nag-evolve na rin yung klase ng negosyo, dapat nandito na siya sa category B. Category A says you're supposed to pay 0.57%. Category B says you're supposed to pay 0.57%. So, pinaayos ko lang yun because you know why? Ando yung source ng graft and corruption.
Kung saan ka ilalagay?
Magbabayad ako. Hindi, nandito ka eh. Dito ka dapat eh. Ito ko, hindi talaga naman dito. Hindi, dito ka talaga dapat. O sige, ganito na lang gawin natin. Magkano babayaran mo nito? 100 pesos sa category B. O sige, gawin na lang natin 50 katulad ng dati. Pero yung 50 na yan, na 100 mo, uwi mo yung 70 pa, yung 25, amin na tong, that's a source of graft. Nilinaw ko lang po yun. Although nasaktan sila, but you know, we also have to admit that the evolution of the business also nag-vary less than a decade.
The question that of course is asked is, bakit namumulugi ba ang Quezon City? Kailangan nila ng pera na hikahos na sila. Ang yaman na nyo. Yun ang umiiral sa isip ng tao.
In fact, we never changed any amount, no? Or percentage or classification lang. Nilipat lang namin sila from A to B or B to C, ganun. And dun nag-vary ngayon yung babayaran niya. May nagsabi, we are imposing more than 100%. But it's not true kasi in taxation, you cannot impose more than 10%. Kahit sa national government, talagang maximum mo, ang ceiling mo is 10. Siguro, pwede mo lang siguro maximum mo 10, pero dapat 6, 3, ganun lang ang laro mo talaga.
You play within the 10.
Yeah.
Okay, before we go ahead, we have been signaling me kailangan lang tayo we have to pause for a few reminders. Please don't go away. We will be right back with Mayor Herbert Bautista of Quezon City.